Om Sadashivasamārambhāṃ Shankarācārya-madhyamāṃ Asmadācārya-paryantāṃ Vande Guru-paraṁparāṃ. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwarah. Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Sujalam Suphalam Malayaja Sheetalam Sasya Shamalam Mataram Vande Mataram Vande Mataram. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Govindaya Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha. Okay. We have completed the Prathama Shatka and we are going to start the Dvitiya Shatka or Madhyama Shatka. Okay. And Prathama Shatka very clearly was Tvampada Lakshyartaha. Madhyama Shatka is Tatpada Lakshyartaha. Okay. Now, when we say Tatpada Lakshyartaha, it is all clearly related to what is this cosmos, what is Ishvara, everything other than me. What is this Samashti? Understanding Samashti. And in Prathama Shatka, we did Bhagatyaga. So we know which is Nityam and Anityam. We separated Nityam and Anityam. And we said whatever is Nityam is there. Whatever is Anityam, that means it is dependent on the Nitya Vastu. So it will not have an existence. So only Nitya Vastu, which when we say it is Atma, is the Nitya Vastu. That is what is the sum and substance of the Prathama Shatka. In Madhyama Shatka, we cannot do Bhagatyaga. It is the same Brahman which is visible as different things. Okay. So here the principle will go as Adhyaropa Apavada. How it is, we will see, because it starts in the 7th chapter itself, it starts. And so far as Krishna was telling very clearly in the first 6 chapters, you are responsible for all what is happening to you. Uddhared Atmanatmanam Atmanam Avasadayet Bandhuratmaiva Atmaiva Iva Ripuhu. You are your own enemy, you are your own friend. If you want, you can uplift yourself. Everything is in your hand, your Purushartha. That means effort has been given a lot of importance. But starting with the 7th chapter, we had earlier this cassette players. You used to put the cassette and then press the button and it will start. Small cassette players. So after one side, A side is over, you have to open it, turn, put the B side and again start. Correct? So once A side is over, up to the Prathama Shatka, when you put B side, दूसरा ही गाना बजना चालू हो गया. The whole tune has got changed. So Krishna starts itself with, the shloka he starts the 7th chapter is Mayyasakta manah partha yogam yujjanmadashrayaha. Mayyasakta, It is all me who is doing it. There is nothing in your hand. I am making everything happen. My grace needs to be there. Your effort, fine, but without my grace, your effort is useless. Starts that way. Asamshayam samagram mam yatha jnanasi jnasyasi tachrunu. Asamshayam, don't doubt it. How much ever you put effort, if my grace is not there, nothing will work. So straight away what he said, that everything is in your hand. Now he has turned the table and said that without me, it will not work. Which means both are true and both are equally true. They are like the two rakes of a train. If a train has to move, it has to place its wheel on both the rail. Then it will move. One is the effort is equally important as much as grace is equally important. Only on one, nothing can work. So, if you say that my effort alone is working, ahankara will go. If you say that only Ishvara is making, uska siva ek patta bhi nahi hilta hai, then you have become a fatalist. Both are wrong. Two extremes are absolutely wrong. Then what is it? First is karmanyevadhikaraste. My part of the effort is the first. Don't say Bhagavan's grace should start, then I will put effort. Some people will say, if he wants to grace me, if he wants me to put effort, he will grace me. If I am not putting effort, that is also because of Bhagavan's grace. It's a never-ending stupid logic. Right? That means you don't have Purushartha at all, you are telling. No difference between me and animals. Correct? So very clearly, first is my Purushartha, my effort. Okay, that is what is karma yoga. First karma, which is the right action and the right attitude. And second is what? Prasada bhavana. So the second part equally is important, which is his grace. Getting it? So very clearly in this chapter, two aspects have been dealt with. The first one is Ishvara Swarupam. What is Ishvara? Okay, even in Tattva Bodha, how did we go? What is Jivatma? Jiva, then Jagat, then Ishvara. First, Jiva, that is what we did in 1 to 6. Now, Jagat and Ishvara together we are going to see here, which is in the second 6. Then after that, what will happen? What is Bandhana and what is Moksha? If you have to know what is Moksha, you should know what is Bandhana. If you know what is Bandhana, you will strive for Moksha. So they both go together. Okay. Jagat and Ishvara. Ishvara manifesting in different form is Jagat. Okay. And this particular aspect of what Ishvara is developed in the 7th chapter. And the second topic of the 2nd chapter is Bhakti. And this is that very famous shloka, Arto Jijnasurartarthi Jnani Cha Bharatarshava. It will come in the 16th shloka here. Okay. Now, before getting into this, we have to understand what is the nature of God. So, first 3 lines, very clearly he has told, first 3 lines when you take, it is Ishvara's grace which works. And after the 4th line onwards, the whole thing up to more or less 13, 14, it is what is Ishvara. Okay. Now, to go to this topic called Ishvara, we have to understand certain concepts. There is a cause there is an effect. The effect is the product of the cause. Is it clear? Some basic statements I'm making. If there is an effect, there has to be a cause. Without a cause, there cannot be an effect. Is that clear? Now, if there is an effect and if there is a cause, the cause gets embedded in the effect. Always, one cause may have 10 effects. In every effect, that cause is embedded. One parent may have many children. In all the children, the same cause parent is embedded. You may do a DNA test, you may see someone's nose is like mother, someone's eyes are like father, or someone's forehead is. All that cause effect completely gets manifested very clearly. Okay. Now, when we go to something called as a product, any product has got two aspects. It has got two causes. The cause is called karanam. The effect is karyam. For every effect, there will be two karanam. First karanam or the first cause is called material cause, which is called upadana karanam. Are we able to get this? If you are not able to understand, stop me, because now it is a little technical. You have to understand that it's a simple concept, but technical words are used. That's all. The material cause is called upadana karana. Okay. For example, a wooden chair is made up of wood. What is the material cause? Wood. Correct. Suppose I take a log of wood and I simply leave it. Will it automatically become a chair? I need someone to convert this material into a form which I call it as a chair. So I need a carpenter who has got the skill, who has got the equipment, who has the knowledge to convert this piece of wood into something what we call as chair. Correct? So another cause works upon the material cause to convert it to a product, and that cause is called intelligent cause. Is this clear? Intelligent cause in Sanskritam is called nimitta karanam. So nimitta karanam works on upadana karanam to give a karyam. Carpenter works on the wood to give you a chair. Simple. Any product you take will have an intelligent cause and a material cause. Is that clear? No doubt at all. Anything you want, you take. It will have both. Now, here comes a very basic question. Is the material cause itself the intelligent cause? Wood kept by itself has got the knowledge that it can modify itself and one day become the chair. Is it possible? Clay by itself, without a potter, can become a pot by itself one day. Is it possible? Any example you take, without a nimitta karanam, upadana karanam can never convert it into a karyam. This gives another very big corollary. Chetana Vastu is Nimitta Karanam, Achetana Vastu is Upadana Karanam. Sentient cause is Nimitta Karanam, where intelligence is there. Is it correct? And insentient cause, where the material is used, is the Upadana Karanam. Now, is there a possibility that the sentient cause and the insentient cause can be the same? For any product you take, the sentient cause and the insentient cause, the nimitta karanam and upadana karanam are always different. One needs the other to give the karyam. They complement each other, they work on each other. Correct? Is this clear? So far as it's a very logical way of moving ahead. Now, we know this world, this cosmos is a product. We see it, it's a product or not? Will it have a cause? Of course, it should have a cause. How many causes? We have seen that for anything in this world, you have two causes. So, this cosmos also will have two causes, material cause and intelligent cause. Okay. If the material cause is there, the material cause should have a source for it. Because what we are seeing today, the product called the cosmos, you have to now rewind and go back. When this particular cosmos came into existence, it would have a material cause. That material cause would have come from some place. Yes or no? Okay. Let us consider that it comes from some XYZ whom we call it as Ishvara. नाम के लिए let us call an unknown XYZ called Ishvara. ठीक है. If the material has come from Ishvara, then someone has to work on this material to give this final product called cosmos. So there should be another Ishvara or another person who is the intelligent cause. Because now here we are calling Ishvara as material cause, and we said material cause is achetana vastu. Are we seeing now slowly a problem has started coming? Because the logical question will be, if Ishvara has to work on something, from where did that material come? If we say the material came from Ishvara, then who is that other person called Ishvara who worked on this material? Because we know Nimitta Karanam and Upadana Karanam are bhinna, separate. Yes or no? Is it getting confused? Did this question come to the mind? Are you able to understand the question? If you don't understand the question, then the answer will not be, you will not appreciate the answer. If you don't have the doubt, we are creating the doubt. Today, everything is fantastic. Why? Everything is so-called created. So I don't have to bother who was the Nimitta Karanam, who was the Upadana Karanam. But if I rewind and go to the start of this universe, this cosmos, the material cause should come from a source, and clearly the intelligent cause should come from some other source. That means there need to be two Ishwaras. Is that possible? Problem, na? Then I should have two Ishwaras. Ishwara one for material cause, Ishwara two for intelligent cause. Let us assume we say that that is what it is. Chalo, for an argument, let us take it. There is one Ishwara for material cause and there is one Ishwara for intelligent cause. Where did those two Ishwara come from? So that means there has to be another Ishwara who created the intelligent Ishwara, and there has to be another Ishwara who created the material Ishwara. Keep on asking this question. Till 9 o'clock, we'll ask the question and the answer will not come. Correct? Are we able to see where we are heading to? Because there is no answer for such a question. But because there is no answer, can we say that such a thing has not happened? I cannot deny it because I see it. I feel the cosmos. I know the cosmos is there for truth. Yes or no? That means, is there a possibility that for the common rule where nimitta karanam and upadana karanam are bhinna, there is one Ishvara who is abhinna nimitta upadana karanam? Are you getting this question? For the rule for everything, bhinna nimitta upadana karanam, is there a possibility of abhinna single Ishvara from which nimitta karanam is also there, the upadana karanam is also there? If that is proven, then my problem is solved. Why? There is one abhinna nimitta upadana karanam, one Ishvara before everything. From that, material cause came, intelligent cause came. The intelligent cause worked on the material cause, and there came this universe, and my problem is solved. Are we getting this? Because when you ask logically such a question, we will not get a logical answer, because who was there at that time to go and check? If you say I will refer to Vedas, where is the Vedas at that time? When Ishvara himself, the cosmos is not there, from where Vedas are going to be there. It may be in unmanifest form, but not available for us. So Vedas cannot be a reference point here, because this has to be inferred. No one has perceived it or actually seen it. It is not possible, because time itself was not there. Are we getting it? Okay. Then, how do I know that such a possibility is there? If I have to know such a possibility is there, can I see similar exceptions available? Even if one example I can see as an exception to the rule, my Ishvara can fit into it. Possible or not? If there are no exceptions, then surely my Ishvara cannot be an exception to it. Then we are talking of some miracle or something happening where there is no cause effect. As some people say, suddenly during the rains, Adam and Eve came, and after that the whole everyone came. How in the rain, how they will come? There is no logic into it, right? So when you keep going, there has to be a logic in Srishti Prakaranam also, and for which our Upanishads give a beautiful answer. Mundaka Upanishad gives an answer. Many Upanishads give this answer. Yathornanabhasrijate grinhate cha. Yatha urnanabha srijate grinhate cha. You have seen a spider? A spider. Spider in Sanskrit is called urnanabha or tantunabha. Tantu means it gives a fiber out. Okay. The spider weaves a web. Who is the intelligent cause for weaving this web? Isn't it the spider? From where does the material for the web come? Isn't it the spider? So, yathornanabha srijate, it can create a web, and if it wants, it can even swallow it back. Grinnatecha, it can just take it back. Somewhere it sees a predator, something coming there, it will just pull it back and take it back while forming it. Once it is fully formed, it gets stuck into it because it is expecting a prey to come and fall into it. Right? So, one example very clearly given. Yathornanabhas srijate grinnatecha. If there is a spider I can see today in front of me, which is abhinna nimitta upadana karanam, for the product called a web, then cannot my Ishvara, who has made this spider, also have that ability? How intelligently the Upanishads have answered it. Yatha keshalomani. Next question comes, from a achetana vastu, can a chetana vastu come? From a chetana vastu, can an achetana vastu come? The same spider becomes an example. From a chetana vastu, achetana web comes out. From our body, hair comes out. From chetana, achetana comes out. Yatha keshalomani. Okay. So, to explain this Srishti Prakaranam, Upanishads very clearly use these examples to clarify it like that. Abhinna nimitta upadana karanam Ishvaraha eva jagat karta. Does it fit now? Now the doubts have gone. Logically, everything else need bhinna nimitta upadana karanam. But there are certain exceptions, out of which this Srishti itself is an exception, because you can't say it is a causeless effect. That is not possible. There has to be a cause, but if more than one cause is there, then you have a problem. It doesn't fit logically, so it has to be only one cause. And if that one cause will have to give the material cause and the intelligent cause, and our Ishvara has the ability to give the material cause and the intelligent cause. How can you deduce this logic? Again, we have to go back to Shruti and no other answer. In every Upanishad, Shruti gives clearly. Taittiriya Upanishad. Tasmadva etasmadatmana akashas sambhutaha akashadvayuhu vayoragnihi agnerapah adbhyah prithvi पृथिव्या ओषधयः ओषधीभ्यो अन्नम् अन्नात् पुरुषः. How beautifully that cause effect, one forms the other, and that's how finally it comes to a creature. Creation gives you a creature which is called Purushaha. Where did it start with? Tasmadva etasmadatmana akashas sambhutaha. From Atma came the Akasha. And then it fits also. In Pralaya, what remains? Everything, whatever is manifested becomes unmanifest. What remains? The whole Prakriti goes to a potential form. Then what remains? Only Atma. So from where does the next Srishti come? That potential Prakriti manifests as active Prakriti. That Purushaha, which is the intelligent cause, blesses the Prakriti, and from where the evolution starts. Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana. Are we able to get this? Okay. Taittiriya Upanishad gives another very clear Tatastha Lakshanam. Yato va imani bhutani jayante. From where this, when you say bhuta, earthly, anything on the earth is bhuta. Bhuta, earthly. It can be creatures, it can be living, non-living, anything. Okay. Yatova imani bhutani jayante. From where did it come? It is putting it like a question now. Having come, ye na jatani jivanti. Who sustains it? How does it get sustained? After that, what? Yat prayantyabhisamvishanti. Where does it go and completely? Now, laya karanam. So, srishti karanam, sthiti karanam, laya karanam. What is that? That is how that Upanishad starts the question. Bhrigurvaiva runihi varunam pitaramupasasara adhihi bhagavo brahmeti tasma etat provacha. He asked, who is Bhagavan? Annam pranam chakshushrotram manovachamiti tagumho vacha yato va imani bhutani jayante. Very, very logical questions coming out from the student, and the teacher has to answer it. And from there, the teacher starts going. Okay, so what have we seen now? Ishvara Swarupam, slowly we are seeing. You have Nimitta Karanam, you have Upadana Karanam. We know for most of the situation, Nimitta Karanam and Upadana Karanam are both are different. It can never be the same, but there are exceptions, and our Ishvara is one exception, similar to a spider, where Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam is Ishvara for this Karyam called Jagat or Srishti. Is it clear? Okay, all technical terms are now sitting properly, logic is sitting properly. Okay. How did this Ishvara do this job? Again, Upanishad gives an answer. So kamayata bahusyam praja yeti satapotapyata satapastaptva idagam sarvamasrjata yadidam kincha tatsrishtva tadevanupravishat tadanupravishya satyatyacha bhavat. 5-step evolution, beautifully it is given. How logically this is, everything what we do falls in such a logic. Okay. So kamayata, this Ishvara thought, sentient being, Nimitta Karanam sitting inside, Upadana Karanam sitting inside. So sentient being, he can think, yes or no. He can do everything as what we can do. If he cannot do what we can do, then we have a problem. Huh? He can do much more than what we can do. That is why we pray to Ishvara. Correct? So he can think. So one day he thought. One day is all my masala. Because day and night nothing was there. Time itself was not there. Ishvara thought. What did he thought? Bahusyam praja ye yeti. I want to multiply. Ekoham bahusyamaha. I want to multiply. Now in this there will be a lot of question. If this one Ishvara goes little into everything, correct? Then after infinite things have been created, Ishvara should not exist. We've gone to everything, na? If you have 10 kilos of something and you give little to everyone, after some time this 10 kilos will go off, na? So Ishvara khatam ho jana mante hai. Correct? These questions are all discussed in detail. Huh? Upanishads deal with it, Brahma Sutras deal with it in full details, with all different aspect to it, different queries coming out of it, Vada, Pratipaksha, giving clarity, giving quotations, and then clarifying it clearly. Okay, so what he did was, Saha Akamayata, he thought, Bahusyam Prajayeti, I should multiply. When I multiply, I do not reduce. Many of me come. Correct? You know that when you go into that changing room, when you buy a dress, all the four sides, there will be mirror. What happened to you, one person going in? You multiply manyfold. Are you there, or are you got distributed in all the images? Original is also there, able to do everything, and every image is also there. Isn't it right? So if we can do small tricks like this, Ishvara can do many more. Bahusyam praja ye yeti. So what did he do? Satapotapyata atapyata. He thought, he made a plan. That is where that nimitta karanam works. He had a plan, he had a master plan. Why? The previous Srishti, during Pralaya, many of the creatures are gone into unmanifested form with certain karma phalas. In this Srishti, they all need to come with those karma phalas only. If everything gets neutralized, everything starts again, then Ishvara is Pakshapata. You will call Ishvara having Pakshapata. I'll be waiting for the last, what do you call, the last, before Pralaya I should be born. So what? After Pralaya, when next Srishti will come, मेरा सब साफ हो गया. ऐसा होता नहीं है. So understand how this karma works. Even across Srishti, it is not gone. It will come back again. So he has to think and he has to plan how that Srishti will have to get manifested. And this Srishti manifestation, we saw it in Tattvabodha, Panchikritam, Dvedha Vibhajya, Akashasya Tamasamshat. If you remember, Vayoho Tamasamshat. Before that, Sattva Rajas is already over. That is also a part of Ishvara Srishti, which is Avyakta, we cannot see. Mahad Avyakta. Then comes Tamasamshat Panchikaranam, that is grossification, which we can see. And we are referring to that only now. Okay. Satapotapyata satapastaptva. Because he is the intelligent cause and he had the material with him. Who is the material with him? Prakriti is the material cause with him, which was in the unmanifested form, became manifested by Purusha, blessed it. Now that Prakriti starts evolving. into various things with the blessings of Purusha. Is it clear? And Bahusyam praja ye yeti satapotapyata satapastaptva idagam sarvam asrajata. Yadidam kincha, he went into everything and did anupravesha as though he entered them. As though, it is called anupravesha, is called as though he entered into them. There are big discussions on that. But basically means what? One Ishvara got reflected into millions. Ekoham bahusyamaha. That is Ishvara Tattva we have to see. So from 7 to 13 or 7 to 12, what are we going to see? That one Ishvara which we are seeing as my little Krishna sitting in the puja room, is that Krishna manifesting as the leaves, as the tree, as the sun, as the wind, as everything, including the cockroach, which I don't want to see. Correct? It is the same Ishvara. So, in the first six, we saw how to focus inward, Atma, Atma. Now we are seeing Chitta Vishalata. How to see that one Atma in everything. Are we able to get this? That is how this seventh chapter is going to go now. And that is why he says, Maya Sakta, that Ishvara says everything is controlled by me. That is why in the 11th chapter he will say, Nimittamatram Bhava Savyasachin. You are the remote in my hand. The control is with me. I press a button, something you will do, and you will tell that I achieved it. In reality, it is my glory which is coming through you. For that, in 10th chapter, he has talked about all his glories. Vibhuti Yoga. 11th chapter, Vishwarupa Darshana, he has told. And then he says, Nimitta Matram. Are we able to get this? We have to get into a broader picture. Throughout up to 6th chapter, we were only going inward, inward, inward and making it subtle, subtle, subtle Atma. Now that Atma is seen in everything as a broader picture. Are we getting it? Suddenly he has changed the view. Correct? So, Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam Ishwaraha. We have established that. Advaita goes one step ahead. See, Ekoham Bahusyamaha, one becoming many is Vishishta Advaita. There are many Ishwaras, there are many Prakriti. Each person is one. Ishwara is separate. All are different entity. We have got our limitation. Ishwara doesn't have those limitation. Completely Dvaita way of looking at things. Which is the easiest thing is Dvaita. Why? It comes naturally to us. When someone asks, we'll say, what can I do? I'm just a small pawn in the whole thing. Bhagavan is Sarvantaryami, Sarvadhishtata, Sakala Kalyana Guna Ganaika Nilaya. I have got one small portion of that in me. He has got everything. Correct? And Vishishta Advaita says that everything is manifested as one small. See, the view is different. Dvaita view is different. Vishishta Advaita view is different. Are we able to understand this? What did Advaita do? Advaita said that there are two aspects to everything. The para prakriti and the apara prakriti. The main Chetana Vastu and Jada Vastu. The Chetana Vastu is what reflects through all Jada Vastus. I being one, when seen through so many mirrors, so many images come. None of the images are real. Then who is real? I alone is real. Rest are images. So Ishvaraha is seen through the universe. So there is only one Ishvaraha who is real. The universe actually has a lower existence than Ishvara. Me and my reflection, will you give the value same? Will you give खाना मेरे लिए दिया तो मेरा रिफ्लेक्शन को भी खाना देंगे क्या? नहीं देंगे ना, because that is reflection. Correct? So I am valued differently, my reflection is valued lower. Same way, if you see Ishwara's vibhuti in everything, everything else becomes of a lower value, achetana vastu. Only one Chetana, whom we call Ishvara, is at a higher value. So, this one Ishvara is reflected through everything as different image. Are we able to see the three philosophies very clearly here? Dvaita philosophy, Chetana, Achetana, no difference is there. All are together, one made up of Chetana, Achetana together, but each entity is different. Ishvara is different. Ishvara has got different powers. I have got different powers. Ishvara has got different limitation. I have got different limitation. I can never become Ishvara. Ishvara can never become me. I will pray to Ishvara to go as close as possible, but I can never go near. Not possible. Dvaita. हम बोलते ना, you are like my family member only. What does that mean? Like my family member बोला तो समझ में आना है कि you are not my family member. है कि नहीं? करेक्ट ना? पक्का द्वैता. द्वैता व्यू. Like my family member सब बोल सकते हैं, but different. Other person says, you are my extended family. Correct? भारत मेरा देश है, सभी भारतीय मेरे भाई बहन बंधु, all that. So now I extended my family to full Bharat. What happens here? Vishishtadvaita. One seen as many. Advaita says nothing doing. You can't equate inequals. You can't equate inequals. Separate inequals. Take the equals and see. There is only one equal. Matter ends. Advaita says there is only screen. The rest everything is movie. It comes and it goes. Movati iti movie. Are we able to understand these three concepts very, very clearly with the same? It is which view you are taking. And hence, for everything what you see, there will be a Dvaita view and there will be a Advaita view. For anything you take, there will be a Dvaita view and there will be an Advaita view. What is the view you are taking is what is important. When I go to a shop to buy jewelry, do you have Dvaita view or Advaita view? If you have Advaita view, you would not ask for designs because everything is gold. And what is the view the shopkeeper has? Pakka Advaita view. He is least bothered about the design. In his mind, higher the gold, better is the design. वो तुम्हारा सर पे बांध के रखेगा, ये बहुत अच्छा है, थोड़ा बजट से ज्यादा है लेकिन बहुत बढ़िया डिजाइन है, ऐसा मिलेगा ही नहीं. Why? He has only gold eva gold view, and we have only nama rupa eva nama rupa view. Gold has already gone off. We are in Dvaita, he is in Advaita. Are we able to see this? So whenever you see any ornament, you will see both the views. Which view you are holding on, that is what makes you whether you are a Dvaita in that context or an Advaita in that context. If you are going through a pot view, Dvaita. If you are going through view, Advaita. If you are going through river view, pond view, lake view, ocean view, Dvaita. Bubble view, wave view, Dvaita. Water eva, water in everything, Advaita. Correct? Samana drishti is there in both, and one who does not understand Dvaita will never understand Advaita. Are we able to get this logic? So what did Bhagavan start in the 7th chapter? He showed his Dvaita view being Advaita. And he told Arjuna, I look Dvaita, but you have to fine tune your spectacles to see the Advaita in it. Although obviously I am visible as Dvaita, but when you make an inquiry, there is only one Advaita Ishvara in everything. Are we getting the concept little? Correct? A very different view. Huh? Completely first to sixth chapter is what? I am here, Bhagavan is there, I do puja, Ishta Devata, Kula Devata, all that, flowers, everything, dhyana, everything I do. But here, and to get that Advaitic view, in the chapter, thoda thoda jhalak dene lag gaya. Brahmarpanam Brahma Havi Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmaivate Nagantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. He started showing that view. Don't look all these as different. There is only one view there. And this he started explaining from the 7th chapter. That one gets reflected as many. What is bhakti? Understanding that view is bhakti. Are we able to get this? Understanding that view and being established that that only is the view with conviction is bhakti. Narada Bhakti Sutra starts that way. Satvasmin parama prema rupa. Satu asmin parama prema rupa. That's all. Everything is just a prema rupa only, nothing else. It is my prema rupa which is seen as different images. Upanishad calls it differently. It will not call it bhakti. Raso vaisaha rasaghyevayal labdvanandi bhavati. Essence of everything is that. There's only one essence to everything. If I go to a sweet shop, whatever sweet I eat, what is the essence? Sugar. That sugar is displayed, or that sweetness is displayed in millions of forms. Yes or no? What is the guy selling? Sweetness, matterants. Raso vaisaha रसगृह्येवायं लब्ध्वानंदी भवति. आप जिलेबी खाओ तो भी आहा कितना मीठा है बोलेगा, पूरन पोली खाए तो भी फाइनली वही बोलने वाला है आह कितना मीठा है. Yes or no? Based on my ragadvesha, my liking is there, but both at that level of enjoyment of sweet, once you remove the ragadvesha, have got the same enjoyment. Is the enjoyment of someone having a Puran Poli who likes Puran Poli different from a person who likes jalebi having a jalebi? That enjoyment is it different? Correct? From an enjoyment view, it is one. From Padartha view, it is bhinna. From material cause, it is bhinna. From intelligent cause, it is one. That one intelligent cause came into each and every creature. That is why we call ourselves as living, and we know we are prani, we are prana, we understand it. Even the smallest microbe has got certain way of doing things. That's how it does. Why? Cosmic intelligence has entered in. That is why in puja what we say, Deho Jivalaya Prokto Jivo Deva Sanatanaha. Dehaha Jivasya Alayaha Proktaha. That God called Jivaha is dwelling inside this container called Deha. Correct? I have many pots. I have many pots. Every pot is empty. What is there inside the pot? Pot space is there. Pot 1, pot space 1. Pot 2, pot space 2. Pot 3, pot space 3. Is pot space 1 different than pot space 2? Is that different from essentially what is the space outside the pot? For me to understand, what should I do? Break the pot. What happens? Pot space 1, pot 1 gone, only space remains. Pot 2 gone, only space remains. That means what? Now tell, where did the pot actually come? Did the pot get the space in, or in the space pot was manifested? Ask the question, huh? Because I got a pot and I enclosed it, I call it pot space. But बेटा ये pot है किधर स्पेस में है, जिसको मैं कवर करके pot space बोलता हूं. How foolish, na? Don't worry, we all are in that category only. You remember, we have all paid after taking loan a house, and then we pay EMI. And what did I get? One agreement. What does the agreement say? So many square feet area, which has got 6 walls, 4 on the sides, 1 up and 1 down, and none of them belongs to you, because that is separation of space of your house versus the neighbor's house or the external space. So what did I buy? पैसा तो गया, मिला क्या मालूम नहीं. समझ में आ रहा है? हाँ? जिंदगी हम इसके लिए निकाल देते हैं, एक घर, 2 घर, बस पूरा. मिडिल क्लास पीपल, वी ओनली थिंक दैट मच. दैट इज गुड इनफ. व्हाट इज द एजेंडा? 1-2 घर लेने का. आई हैव गॉट 2 चिल्ड्रन, फॉर देम 1 हाउस. हम बुढ़ा बुढ़ी एक घर में रहने का. ठीक है, अच्छा से, विदाउट एनी प्रॉब्लम. वन डे इन द स्लीप इटसेल्फ आई शुड डाई. और दैट मच इज माय विश. है कि नहीं? अरे वो 2 घर खरीदने के लिए पूरा जिंदगी निकाला, और घर मिला मतलब क्या मिला? कागज. Actual material किधर है? So there is no material. Beauty is that something called a house, where is the material cost? Are bricks and the wall the material of the house? You can't do anything with the wall. Wall को ऊपर बैठते नहीं क्या? Maximum you can support with the wall. उससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं कर सकते. कबोर्ड टंगा सकते हैं. What are you using? The space inside the house. वो तुम्हारा हाथ में ही नहीं है. Okay, that is Advaita Drishti. Something as a covering in this space, I call it as my space and bring Dvaita in. Are we understanding? There was only space. Before this building came, what was there? Space. What did that great intelligent person do? He built boxes in that space. And he sold each space, different boxes to that many people. And we all purchased it saying that now this space belongs to us. And when does that space go? When you break it. The space, did the space go? Space is there only where it was. What I call as my ownership of the space went. That means my ownership is Satya or Mithya. Compared to space, ownership of the space is Satya or Mithya. Then what is Satya? Space is Satya. Tasmadva etasmadhatmana akashas sambhutaha tasmadva spacesya building sambhutaha. Correct? From building came what? From building came members. From members became a society. फिर झगड़ा करते रहो. ये घर पे लीकेज है, वो घर पे वो है, चालू है कि नहीं? So from Advaita Drishti, everything becomes in practical Dvaita. And we are, every transaction, everything in the universe will have Dvaita only, because transactable is only Dvaita. Advaita is a philosophy, it's a principle. Okay, when I see an ornament, I can never say gold necklace, gold. You don't have to say, you simply say necklace, bracelet, bangle, that's all, because Dvaita only can be transactable. What goes along with it, that Advaita gold is actually getting transacted in it. सेवन चैप्टर देखो कैसा गुगली मार के लेके जा रहा है. That's how he starts the seventh chapter. So we need to know Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam is Ishvaraha, and this is the principle of Vishishta Advaita. And Advaita says Vivarta Upadana Karanam. That means this Upadana Karanam doesn't have an existence at all, because it is dependent on the Chaitana Tattva, which is Brahman or Atma. So what is actually present? Only Brahman and Atma. Then what am I seeing? Various images of Brahman and Atma, which I call as Jagat. But directly, if something is told like this, people will not understand. So the Upanishad takes a little slow detour. Says, okay, there is pot, then pot space. Many pots, pot space. Then space outside, space inside. Till all this it comes that, is that outside space and inside space the same? Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam it establishes. Then it goes to Vivarta Karanam, saying that the pot was created in the space itself. That is Vivarta. Turning the table completely ulta. That is Vivarta Karanam, which is Advaita. That is why many people don't understand Advaita. They will say, what you are talking is all Some stories you are telling we don't understand. ऐसा होता नहीं है. You show me where it is. Because you cannot show it. It's a principle. It's a principle. Okay. And while discussing it, we all know such a principle is there. That is why that transaction is exactly happening that way in the Dvaita world. If that principle was not there, such transaction of Dvaita can never happen. Hopefully, some confusion which was got created is resolved. If the confusion continues, let it be there. All this takes a little time. Little by little we have to digest. एक साथ खाएंगे तो जुलाब हो जाएगा. तो धीरे धीरे थोड़ा थोड़ा खाना. आज इतना खा लेंगे. We will wait. थोड़ा ढेकर आने दो. Next week we will see how it goes. And we will actually see how the 7th chapter is now taking it further ahead. Okay. This basis is required from 7th onwards up to 12th. Okay. And Ishvara Swarupa Bhakti. The 12th chapter is again Bhakti. That means everything going to be covered from here to 12 is only going to be Ishvara Bhakti and nothing else. Are we able to understand this? Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha. Shivaratri.
धन्यवाद सर.
हरिओम सर, धन्यवाद सर.
धन्यवाद. Shivaratri.